Um, hey everyone. I know I was gone last week I was on leave last week. No, that sounds like on shore leave. There we
You
go.
were
That's
shore leave, yeah.
yeah, so I was trying to make it sound Star Trekky, but we're back to talk about like first reactions lower decks. Thanks for everyone for taking over the stream for me last week. So what did you think of a few if you want to introduce yourself, Braxton?
Hey Rachel, how's it going? I'm Braxton. It's great to have you back.
Thank you.
Me and Sohail
Mhm.
held it down last week, and we had a
Thank
good
you.
conversation. But you were missed, and I hope that you
Yeah,
had a great time in New York.
yeah, it's fun. Here, I'll show you the one Star Trek thing. If I can reach it. I went to a bookstore called the Drama Bookstore,
hmm
and they had a signed copy of Patrick Stewart's new book.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah, so it must the because I know about book stuff. It's like sometimes they'll do like a print where they'll like have them sign like basically a blank piece of paper, and then they'll like bound it in the book, and that's what it says that is.
Oh, very cool, very
But
cool.
me and my friend saw it and was just like, Rachel, come here, and it was like, and then we were going through and we were comparing the signatures, and we were like, these two are the prettiest, so we're gonna buy these two.
Well, that is a great
Yeah,
find.
especially because I don't like Patrick Stewart doesn't, I get it, he's older, he doesn't really do conventions, so I think that's my best bet.
hmm
So Braxton, what did you think of this week's episode?
You know, so I didn't actually realize this week's episode was the season finale until we were mostly the
Mhm.
way through. Like, I was like, oh, this is good. Like, all these stakes. And then I was like, oh, well, you know what? Like, this is
Wait, is
episode
it this?
10. It must be the season finale. Is it not the season finale?
I don't remember,
Because
and now
it
I'm.
because the thing is, it totally
Mm.
feels like it is like this is. I mean, to me, it feels like this could even be a fitting end
I think yeah, so
to the
whole
whole
lol.
series.
No, I believe no. That
Yeah.
is not the season finale. That's my confusion. I was like, I don't think it's the season
Okay.
finale.
Okay. Well, at any rate, the episode was actually really,
Yeah, it was
really
a really
good.
good episode.
hmm
I like if this had been a season finale, I wouldn't like. I would have been like satisfied, except the fact that it didn't answer the mystery box. But no, this episode is really really good. I get why you would think this is like a season finale episode. Um,
Sorry, everybody's like, "Oh, he's totally wrong." Yeah, but it told. I don't know. There
thanks
was
for
just
the
like
chat. I was
all
starting
these
to look
things.
up on my iPad. I was like, I don't think so.
I was
Hi,
getting you
RC.
worried.
Um,
Howdy.
in case you missed Braxton apparently thinking this was the season finale, and then everyone being like, "No,
No, Braxton, I am absolutely with you on that
I
actually,
get it, I
because I,
do."
I was watching it and I was like, this is definitely a season finale, and I had to check like during the beginning of the episode. I was like, no, this is episode 7. There's like
Mhm.
8 or 10 or something, right?
Yeah.
But it
Um.
definitely, I totally get why you would feel that way from watching
Mhm.
it.
Like it was so exciting, and it just felt like a good natural end. I actually did not realize that the crew did not know that the captain was Mariner's mother. I actually didn't realize that they didn't know it. Um,
Oh, I didn't
No,
realize
I
they didn't know that
think
either.
they found out in season one. They didn't know
mm,
when they were in the first season, but I think they do know by now.
mm. But because the thing is, everybody seemed so shocked, like when they said it, and then like they started like kissing her ass like immediately. And then also, I got the Mariner that I had been wanting. Like I had been
Hmm.
wanting like privilege, like good girl, good captain. Oh, not good captain, good
Hmm.
officer Mariner. And I really enjoyed like that. Um, but yeah, I thought this was a great episode.
Yeah. No, I thought yeah, I really liked getting to see so many of all the three evil robots all kind of getting redemptions, which I honestly thought I was like I was waiting for one of them to turn and then I was like I was genuinely it shocked me when none of them did.
Uh,
Yeah, I definitely had a suspicion that it was going to turn into a betrayal.
Yeah. Um I also like the idea that Arguments' laugh will always sound evil no matter he was like I'm just
Yeah.
laughing now. Like
Like,
hmm.
imagine if I just laughed like that all the time.
So now, do you think that Shax is dead this time or not? Because there was like another season where we thought he was dead, but then he
Yeah.
came back.
I
But
don't.
like, I actually ended this episode with tears in my eyes, like when Captain Freeman said that Shax was with the prophets. Like, oh my gosh,
I
that really got me.
okay. I Braxton, did you accidentally rewatch the season finale of season 1?
No, I haven't watched that shit since it aired.
Because that's what you're describing.
Yeah, like I'm not remembering some of the stuff you're talking about.
Yeah.
From this last episode?
From
Yeah,
from today, that
last
came out last night / today.
Yeah, so Braxton, this episode was Badgey, Peanut Hamper, and Artemis.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry.
Well, I feel really weird because I do still feel like it had season finale energy though.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you said Shax, and I was like, I don't think anything happened with Shax this episode. I'm just like, what? Like I might have been under the weather, but I wasn't that out of it.
I'm sorry. This is so funny. Okay, it was like, okay, I was starting to think that, but I was like, no, maybe not. And then I was like, nope, okay, you definitely.
Oh my gosh, you know what I did? Like, I just like opened the tablet and I just hit play. And typically when I hit play, like it starts with this week's
the next episode.
Oh my gosh, I am so
I also love that apparently you just didn't remember that episode well enough. So what happened is you just rewatched the last time Shax died.
Oh my gosh, everyone, I am so sorry. I am so embarrassed.
Amazing.
This is the best. This is so funny to me. I'm sorry.
I'm happy that I'm here for this.
Okay, how about
Oh gosh.
Yeah, Sohail, you're more professional. The season 1 finale was great. That is correct. So anyways, so what you did watch was a season finale. So that does make sense. So I'm sorry. I'm seeing if I can find a description of this episode real quick on Memory Alpha or something.
I'm on Memory Alpha for the episode.
Sure, see if you want to. I like this. Artemis didn't want Braxton to see the latest episode. Yeah, he doesn't want him knowing he got weak and soft.
You didn't get to hear Jeffrey Combs' wonderful voice.
Mm-hmm.
But the general description was 3 computerized villains returned to cause problems for the Cerritos crew, and those were, as Rachel mentioned, Peanut Hamper, Artemis, and Badgey. Or Agnes.
Badgey. Ignore my key. Ignore my key, because this is actually
Badgey and Peanut Hamper. Peanut Hamper is such an asshole.
This is true. Although Peanut Hamper less of an asshole in the episode we just watched.
Yeah.
Which
Peanut Hamper redemption arc.
Yeah.
Do tell.
So that's the thing. I don't want to spoil it for you though. Like I want you to go watch it.
Spoilers.
No, you go watch the episode. We'll just chit chat. It's not that long a show.
I watch spoiler reviews before I go and watch a movie. I love spoilers.
All right. Although, yeah, Tendy Goes to the Beach is a good plot point. I love
this idea. We just make up shit and see if Braxton believes us.
No. We can't do that.
Oh my god.
That would not be logical or practical.
No. I think I put on a mascara that wasn't entirely waterproof because I didn't expect to laugh today.
Yeah. So I guess the basics are Badgey returns, steals a ship, I guess captures Rutherford and Mariner isn't exactly right. They kind of tried to sacrifice themselves, but they just got captured. And then Badgey started splitting into multiple versions like Logic-y and Goody. Was it?
Goody was one of them.
Yeah. Because basically every time basically Badgey started to calm down about the situation, Badgey didn't want to calm down. Badgey wanted to be angry.
Yeah.
So he kept splitting off the parts of him that were not angry.
Mm-hmm.
And meanwhile, Artemis wanted Rutherford, like Hannibal style, requested him.
Oh,
Um,
Brad or Boimler.
yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, requested Boimler, who then basically took him on a wild goose chase to try to get free. And it was supposed to be a scheme with Peanut Hamper, but it turns out that Peanut Hamper actually decided to go on the straight and narrow.
Just decided to just go chill with her parents.
Yeah.
So Peanut Hamper has reconciled with her parents because Peanut Hamper joined Starfleet just to please her parents.
Yeah.
Yep. Reconciled
were her
after.
parents proud?
Oh, the parents just beeped, so I assume so.
And yes, Agnes turns blue, so you know that everything's good.
Yeah.
But also, like, definitely had the energy, like, kept saying, "Oh, we're just friends" to Peanut Hamper's dad, but definitely had the energy of, like, who knows?
Yeah, definitely had the. And there was one of those things where I was like, "Are we supposed to like kind of like ship it?" But also,
are we supposed to ship the evil robots?
Yeah, but also I was also like, "What's the age difference between Jeffrey Combs and whoever like voices Peanut Hamper?"
They're playing characters. They're not playing themselves. I'm definitely not gonna to ship those two.
You also have the
Hello
book,
there.
Sohail.
Oh wow, making it so. Look at
Yes.
you. Is yours signed as well, Sohail?
Sorry, I was on mute. I was yelling at Braxton. Braxton, how could you not watch the correct episode?
Oh.
I would say RC did not get a copy, even though I offered to pick one up for him of the signed book.
He did.
I was going to ask you if you happen to be going back to that store and you can get, no, I'll send you some money in the mail.
Unfortunately, that store was in New York City.
Rachel, are you going to pop into New York City again soon?
Never mind.
If I end up in a bookstore in Austin, I will. That has them signed. I went to the Drama Bookstore, which is where I got that. Which is a bookstore that has like theatrical like books. Because another friend wanted to go to look at plays, and then they just happened to also have biographies of actors there, and that's. And none of us realized they would have signed copies until like someone just like picked it up to look through and went, "Oh my God, Rachel, come over here."
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Combs is significantly older than I realized.
How old is
he?
that?
I mean,
in his 70s?
He's 69. I don't know.
It's not that like I think he looks 69. It's just that for the age I remember him being during Deep Space Nine, like how time works.
Yeah, I guess I just didn't realize how old he was when he was filming DS9. He just looked fairly young to me.
Jeffrey Combs, you're looking good for your age.
The actress who plays Peanut Hamper is 37. So.
Oh, okay.
No, I did love because at first, with the first beat with the Artemis story, I was like, "Are they seriously falling for this?" I was like, "Oh no, they're playing along to get what they want." Okay, cool. And they're like, "We got this." I was like, "Okay, our characters aren't actually being dumb; they're just acting dumb to get what they want." So I'm like, I'm good with that.
Like Rom from last episode.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I thought this was a really good episode. I was laughing
thought it was
all the way
really
through.
fun.
I really thought it was a finale episode.
It does make sense.
It does.
That's
why it took me a second, Braxton.
Yeah. But also, I'm kind of excited because if this was not the finale episode, then OMG, like what's in store for us? And we got a huge development.
I have a theory about the mystery box thing that maybe has come up because I actually had the theory while watching the previous episode, and nothing has contradicted it. Almost every ship they've gone that the mystery box thing has gone after has had one of the lower decks people like scheming to take over. So I think maybe and especially now that we know they're like Braxton, we learned that the thing is stealing the ships, not destroying them.
Oh, that's
right.
So, sorry, that's what we learned in this episode about that. So I'm thinking maybe they were working with the lower deckers who were trying to take over.
So where is it depositing the ships?
We don't know yet. We just learned that they're stealing them. We just saw, like, we just got a teeny bit of the mystery answered.
Okay.
I loved this episode a lot, but I especially enjoyed seeing the Binars and their ship, and just like that little opening was well, it wasn't even the opening, but like that part was super cool.
Yeah.
I also loved that, like, despite the fact we couldn't understand what the Binars were saying, you still got like the vibe of like the argument.
It's true.
Or maybe I'm just reading into it because I want my theory to be true.
That the Vinar ships are pretty cool. I like the way they don't look like a typical ship, and I think we don't see enough of that in science fiction. You know, like everything kind of has this like,
Yeah.
Star Trek's pretty good, but like I think other series, like maybe Star Wars, I think, you know, no offense Star Trek, but it might do a slightly better job on weird asymmetrical, you know, ships, but that still makes sense.
Yeah, and also, yeah, there was a lot. To be fair, yeah, for Star Trek, that would have been a lot of death that we would see this season.
It's pretty brutal. It's true.
Oh, I'm sorry, my eyes tear up easily, so I'm like, I'm still like tearing up from laughing earlier.
I'm still laughing from the Braxton thing. I love you, Braxton. That was really funny.
I do. I love you, but it's so funny. Oh my gosh.
You'll have to go watch it like right after, and then we'll just do like a special podcast, or like you could do like a video or something.
Just like put something on Twitter or YouTube, being like, "Here's what I actually thought of this episode."
What did we think of the Badgey ex machina of the episode?
I was very
right. So we didn't cover that, Braxton. Badgey collects all knowledge and turns into a god and teleports away, instead of, you know, the hero's really doing anything that stops him.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I love that we could just be making up the most random shit, but that did actually happen in this episode.
So now,
yeah, we see the koala again.
Yeah. I feel like that koala's coming up a lot recently.
Yeah, well, because didn't Boymore see him?
Yep.
We've seen him a few. I think we've seen him 3 or 4 times. 3 times maybe. But they mentioned the Black Mountain. He mentions all the things. Like he's like,
I'm gonna go to the Black Mountain. He's like, yeah, I saw someone on Twitter. I'm sorry, I can't remember who say it was really fun about this episode. Is it's really referential, but it's really referential to Lower Decks. Like it's not. I love that Lower Decks has been on long enough that it's able to reference itself.
It has its own It has its own established lore. Although I got the feeling about this, like, okay, Badgey went through the entire subspace network, and this in no way ever comes up. But it's also kind of like, well, there was also a subspace wave that made everybody sing and dance, and we never heard about that. So,
I think that RC for me, like, I used to feel that way too, but like I've realized that the Star Trek, or at least the Federation or Starfleet or whatever, is big enough, and just from like real life experiences, big enough that like things like that may easily get forgotten, or like, you know, just like how,
honestly,
not to like put a, you know, but just like big things happen, and then like 2 weeks later we're back to like our regular.
But
you know what? But it's preserved on social media. People don't forget things.
Weird
like
shit.
that.
Right. It's talked about it. We're just not seeing the parts where they do. Talk about it.
They
weird
talk about
shit
it. Right,
happens every week. Look, a group, like a group chat that RC and I are in. We made a joke about the ghost candle, and our friend, who does not know Star Trek, we had to explain that there was a real fucking thing that actually
apparently
aired.
The ghost candle is in Star Trek Online now.
I need to figure out how to get that ghost candle, because that's hilarious.
When are we going to start playing Star Trek Online? I thought we were going to start doing that.
I've started playing, so I've been getting one. I wanted to like, I got the PS4 and my save file was still there, so I didn't have to start over, which was good. But I am up to play with anyone. If you have it on if you have it on PlayStation, because I think that's the only way I can play with you.
I finished Jedi Survivor, and now I'm going to finish Stray, and then I'm going to go hardcore into Star Trek Online.
Yes.
Well, Stray's really short, so it shouldn't take you very long. Stray's only like 12 hours.
Oh, is it? Well, no, but I only play like limited hours, so I only have limited hours. But for Star Trek Online, I'm going to make extra time, like late night play or something like that, where I'll just like, I already know. Like that's why I'm saving it for last, because I don't want to be
So Hill
always,
After Dark.
there's a Starfleet So Hail After Dark
Yeah.
show.
Dude,
We have a
you're saying
channel.
that, but Spider-Man's
I would
coming out next.
say, Jill, I would definitely say Mariner. I don't know what term Mariner would use, with some sort of bisexual or pansexual, because definitely
I
express
think she's-
attraction to both men and women.
Yeah, and I don't think that like I don't think bisexuality, is as common
I
as
don't-
probably like pansexuality in the
Yeah.
future, just because there's so many
I'm-
different species,
Yeah.
and things
Species.
like that, and they may have like Andorians have 4 genders, so it's like, there's a lot of
And are
so
like kind
I
of
think
polyamorous, aren't they?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Do they have family like polyamorous family clusters or something like that? No, that or
Wait,
they
wait,
Or no, wait, no, I'm
No.
thinking Denobians.
Yes, that's what
Yeah.
you're thinking of Denobians. You've been
Yeah.
watching Enterprise. Is the answer
Yeah.
that you're looking for?
Yeah, I started watching Enterprise a lot. I've been sick,
Yeah.
so I've just been watching a lot
Yeah.
of it.
Oh, I get it. Jill's. We didn't read it right.
Mm.
That was a reference to the
Oh,
Vine Arts.
Mm.
I got it. I can't.
Oh no! Oh, I got that. I thought we were
I just
also
didn't
answering
see
the
that.
question.
Oh,
I went on a sexual tangent.
I can't spell, so I assume nobody else can either. So
Yeah, because we were talking about
It
Vine
was
Arts,
the
that's the only reason
E.
that
Yeah,
it
I
was
got
the
it.
E.
I
It
believe
was
she
the
makes
E
a
that threw
joke
me off. I think.
about. Yeah, I think he makes a joke about being attracted to biners in the at some point early in the show.
But
They are
Mariner
cute.
Sits in Chairs Funny, Canon by
Mhm.
also
Biners
tracks.
are kind of cute.
Mhm.
Like they're like outer space, like pocket size, like
Yeah.
twink pairs. I don't know how else to describe them.
I'm sorry I didn't get your joke, Jill. It was, now that I get it, it was funny. Okay, actually, while we're here, Prodigy actually has a home again. That's fun.
Yes! Oh my gosh! That's
My Big
amazing.
Murph,
Yes,
Big Murph is
we
back
did
there,
it.
but Murph.
Frequencies
We
open.
did it.
I know.
I
we
love
were-
that Star Trek fans, other than Enterprise, have not let a Star Trek go.
We're like,
since,
we
when it's a danger.
refuse. Like,
And we're even trying still. Like I didn't like watch Enterprise when it aired. I was like snobby Trekkie back then, and but now I'm lobbying for like an animated Enterprise continuation so that we can get the 7 seasons but animated. So it might be cool. And I'm sure all the actors, or many of the actors, will want to voice their.
Listen, I'll
characters
take
again.
that, or I'll also accept comic books,
Yeah,
comic books are
Comic
also
books-
acceptable.
yeah.
but they have to be canon comic books.
So the exciting thing is pretty
I don't
soon.
think those. I don't think those exist for Star Trek.
Yeah, I know. I want it to be a thing. Give me 20 years. I'll take over the franchise and we'll fix that.
Lolook, no one will be
when
able
does
to
it
keep
start
track
on
of that.
Netflix? When does Prodigy start on
End
Netflix?
of
Did
the
anyone
year?
take note?
It said, I think I read the deadline article. I believe it said season 1 is coming this year to Netflix, and then
Okay,
season 2
cool.
will be next year. It
Oh
just
my
said
gosh, I'm so
2024.
excited.
I do know. I think Netflix has a slightly better track record with their animated shows, especially. I trust that both that the Hagman brothers and Aaron Watke all have a pretty good working relationship with Netflix, so I'm sure
Right.
they know the deal or how to.
I think it's gonna find a much bigger audience because I think there's a lot more Netflix subscribers than Paramount
Mhm.
Plus, I would say. And so to
I
me,
think
it's like
there's
the
a
most
lot
exciting thing
more-
ever because
Yeah.
I think we talked about it in one of our group chats. I know I talked with Father that there's a lot more. I think a kid is a lot more willing to like just look around Netflix than they would, because as someone, I use Paramount Plus almost daily. People go to Paramount Plus for what they know is on there. They don't just like search around on
Yeah.
it.
But in addition to
Um,
that, like I remember when Prodigy was first like being promoted and coming on board, I was like, you know, basically talking to everyone I could about
Yeah.
it. Like everyone I knew who had kids, like I was like, oh, this is the best thing. Like you can get your kids into
Same.
Star Trek, la la la.
But I
And
feel
then
like
it would be
everyone was
like,
like, I
oh,
don't
where's
have
the
Paramount Plus. Yeah.
and then yeah, exactly. They'd be like, not sure I want Paramount Plus. You know, I have Netflix and I have
Mm-hmm.
this and I have that. And so it was
And
just
I,
not, you know, worth it
yeah.
for one show that they weren't sure about, you know. So you know, so yeah, I think now it'll really go fast and as far as
Yeah, as
its
I
reach.
know, yeah. Father is going to talk more about what he thinks tomorrow. Oh, and by the way,
Yes.
we will. I think I might be on it on Saturday. We'll probably be doing a live stream to talk about whatever is announced at New York Comic Con.
Oh, New York Comic Con is this weekend.
Woody.
Yep.
Yeah,
Is it
yeah.
gonna rain?
I have a friend who works Disney who's like dreading it.
Mm.
Oh,
Like there's supposed to
since
be like
we're
this kind of
since
huge rainstorm coming through, like where
Um.
I live in Maryland on like
Oh,
Saturday. I was wondering
there
if it's
was
gonna be
rain
like,
last, which I think has a part to do with RC and Mice Cold that we like jointly got in New York because we both
Yeah.
got stuck in the rain.
oh,
Yeah. Yeah, that would be really fun.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think that's what Aaron or Geek Filter was saying is that a lot of the current comic books are soft canon, but they are kind of if a live action show is gonna like uh
It took me a little time to realize
continuation.
that with Star Trek canon specifically because I read if anybody remembers it, there was a series of books called the Genesis Wave.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, oh man, these are so cool. And then I didn't know that like it was soft canon at the time. Um, and like so then when I was like I saw future things, I was like, oh, this definitely contradicts. And then I got older and I
Yeah.
started learning more about it. I was like, oh man. And I'm just very much like I like canon a lot. Like it's I like continuity. And
To
like
be
I'm not
fair,
like
I feel like Star Wars is like all our stuff is canon, except then we'll erase it. So actually, it's not. We lied.
yeah, I don't like that either.
At least Star
I'm
Trek.
glad you said
Comic books
I'm
also
glad you
reboot all the
said
time
you like
too, you know. So
Yeah.
I'm glad you said you like continuity because I like continuity too. And I'm
Yeah.
only going to do this really quickly. But with Star Trek, I've adopted a new form of kind of like interpretation of canon, and I call it 3D canon because I actually count time travel as a canonical event. So I've been
Yeah.
slowly kind of trying to kind of find these you know, continuity errors,
Okay.
but they usually get resolved when you factor in a time travel event. So
Yeah.
that's been my
Okay.
like
And there's
rationale.
a lot of
kind of-
that. in
A
Star
lot of
Trek.
I'll say, were you
Yeah.
inspired by the Strange New Worlds episode?
Yeah.
I was. Yes, that's what it was. Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
All right, I get it.
Anything else about the latest episode, which was really good, and I.
Oh, well, we went off on
Yeah.
a tangent, but I wanted to say something about Badgie
Yeah.
ascending. I just I love the, you know, the one thing that's really cool about Star Trek is that it, you know, aside from the entertainment aspect, they always try to like promote things like rehabilitation rather than incarceration or like things like that. And like, you know, treatment and stuff like that. So it was really neat to see that, like, you know, apparently for Peanut Hamper, it actually worked. And for Agamus through like the experience of like, he didn't enjoy it anymore when he went back into this like other thing. But with Badgie specifically, I thought it was great that he like he had all this anger, but once he like ascended to this level, which we can all do, just opening your mind, I guess, and your heart, like to like
the koala, yeah.
Well, yeah, to the koala, but also just to like other, you know, other things like infinite diversity and infinite you know, this kind of, he actually experienced the epitome of infinite diversity and infinite combinations by being able to experience all of that, and it just made him nice, and he was just like, oh cool, like it just like, so that to me was really kind of like an inspiring thing, because I've, you know, one hopes that as civilizations get more, you know, advanced and stuff like that, that we will also you know, become more enlightened. And that was like a nice little, you know, message of saying that, like, yeah, when Badgie like expanded his, you know, programming to be able to like do this, he then all of a sudden also became very enlightened and kind, and you know, it was cool. I like that.
Yeah, no, I do. I like that even lower decks with like, well, it's still it's trying to be funny. It's like, no, we like believe in like that. The like point of prison should be rehabilitation, not just like incarceration. Um, I and what's funny, I like when I was first watching the episode, I kind of was annoyed we didn't get to see Peanut Hamper's speech, and then I realized later I think it was because we might have picked up on like too early that I was like, oh, I think this might be genuine. But yeah, it was really funny, and I also think all of the voice actors for all the different various evil AIs and robots also did a really good job. Did Jack McBrayer do all the different like goody, badgy, logicy? Because like it's like
I think so.
I
It didn't sound that different to me.
yeah, but I was like just really good performances, like very logicy, especially. It's just very out of like what I would think of his wheelhouse, and so I was like really impressed. Where he's usually, he sounds like Badgie, or he sounds like he does in 30 Rock.
Right.
But it was like, but I was like really impressed. I was like, oh, could he play a Vulcan? Like, and then Jeffrey Combs is always great, and I love his little evil laugh. It makes me happy.
I love the bit about turning light blue.
Yeah.
That's all it took to convince people that he had changed. It's like, but then his light did turn blue at the end, which was funny.
I love it. The light is reassuring. It's like, Brad, why? Like,
he's right though. I was gonna say, like, I mean, these are just like cultural things, right? Like, kind of like red lightsaber in Star Wars versus blue or green lightsaber.
Or now these orange ones, which I just love.
What does it say about me that my favorite color is red? I also really like blue.
That there's a good Rachel out there somewhere.
Rachel, my three favorite colors that I can never pick one over the other are red, blue, and black. So we have two favorite colors in common. Or
I would say that I decorate them with red, blue, and pink, which is kind of a softer shade of red. But
I would say my favorite colors are green and black.
Red. I don't think
you don't wear
anything red. Nope.
Oh wow!
Really? That's interesting.
I do have a few things that are maroon.
The maroon's like
you just don't feel like it works with you, or like you just don't like it.
Yeah, I just don't think that it works with me. Like never buy it. Like
I love red, but it can be like often if you're wearing red, it's like it's a moment. Yeah, like this. Like it's hello.
I don't want to be perceived that way.
Yeah.
Joel was pointing out the prison yard basketball and weightlifting. I love the movie theater.
Yeah, we're watching some kind of Lassie with an evil robot. I was like, what movie is this? Was it made for them? Like...
But it's interesting because, like, you know what, like when you're just like a computer, sometimes you're trying to complete a task or whatever in the most efficient or quick manner, and there's not without experiencing emotions, I think it's hard to like understand what it's like to like to empathize or whatever, because like it's integral. So like they don't empathize with all the evil doing all the evil that's done by them, so they're just like, oh no, but I was trying to do this and it was the quickest path or whatever. So showing like a robot like playing with a dog and stuff like that, I thought it was just funny that it's like trying to show them ways to empathize or like understand like non cybernetic or silicon based beings.
Jill, who was this rude person who told you not to wear red? They are wrong. I will punch them. You could wear whatever you want.
Yeah, I agree. Red's a good color to wear too.
I also don't think most people look good. I think a lot of people look good in red.
It's especially for women. I think that it's such a statement color. My coworker Angela, who's a very conservative woman, she's about 40, but she's a very conservative woman. She says, "Oh, like I complimented her on this red dress that she was wearing one day, and she said, "Oh, like whenever I'm wearing red, like my mother gave it to me." So I thought that
Yeah.
was very interesting. Yeah.
I guess it's because it also has like a you know like a association with passion and fire and danger, like so.
I would also say that there's probably a shade of red that probably looks better on you than like other shades. Because I have that with red lipstick.
My father never wore red. Also, by the way, Braxton, so he was like you. He just didn't like the way it looked on him. Yeah. That's a personal thing.
To be fair, Jill, if you don't like how you look in red, that is different than someone else saying you don't look in red.
Exactly.
Like, I don't usually wear, like, bright yellow, which is a problem for Starfleet uniforms. But...
Ooh, salmon. I love salmon. Yeah. Do I have something salmon? I think I do.
I wore a nice red bow tie to the wedding. I thought it looked snazzy.
It did.
Did you guys go to the same wedding together?
Yes, we went to the same wedding. It was a mutual friend got married.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. And then the bride, we were mutual friends of the groom. The bride's name was Rachel, though, so that was not at all confusing. Okay, that's fair.
Here's my salmon.
Regarding Agamus, that
is salmon and
took over an entire planet so quickly.
RC's trying to get us back on track. So.
Yeah, that's fair. I would say salmon and mauve are similar colors. So
are they?
Similar-ish, yeah.
Okay.
I don't have an argument. What were you saying? I can't really weigh in too much on this.
That's fair.
I was just saying it was funny that Agamus took over that planet so quickly, and that Boimler was just very much like, not that Starfleet couldn't fix this all in an hour.
Yeah, it was just like, we're gonna fix this real quick, and I was just like, but the trauma of these people, Brad. Like,
he had to find out about the mystery ship.
Yeah.
How far is Brad willing to go for the mission?
He's gotta know. He's a lieutenant now.
The planet? I did like Boimler and Tendi teaming up and Tendi building sand. But what was the deal with the planet that Agnes? Go ahead.
It had good sand. I think she was saying. I thought my understanding, because I was working while I was watching it, but that my understanding was Orion beaches just basically have sharp, pointy rocks.
Yeah,
don't have sand.
Oh, I didn't notice that, Joel. That's fun.
Oh, yeah. No, I noticed that.
They were just like on Earth, right? They were like on Ecuador when they were on the beach, right?
Oh, but I'm talking about the planet that he conquered, and then Boimler's like, it's not like Starfleet can't come here and fix this in an hour or something like that, right? Like, so
they're basically Artemis is not that impressive.
Yes. Well, I'll say also it's just so nonchalant about an entire planet being taken over. Like, oh well, another one of these happened.
Yeah.
I was worried about
I guess it does happen a lot. They did go back to that one planet and they had started worshipping the computer again. So.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Listen, if the people want to worship the computer, we gotta let them.
By the way, Braxton, sorry to go back on this tangent, but I'm looking at mauve and I'm also looking at salmon. I think mauve is more like when salmon run upstream to the river to die, and salmon is more like when they're like fresh and ready to be eaten.
Yeah.
Okay.
When live salmon are not salmon colored. We very disturbingly named salmon the color salmon how they looked when we're ready to eat them and they're cooked. Like
that is true.
Now I'm hungry.
Yeah, now I want salmon because
that would be like naming red. That would be like naming red cow. We're like, no, we don't eat blood, but well, maybe Halloween's coming up. No, I'm just kidding. Some people do eat blood sausage, though. I hear.
That's a thing.
That's a thing.
I don't think I ever.
Is that really a thing? Because if I hadn't known, I would assume that's like a Klingon dish.
I think blood is actually not bad for you if it's cooked or there's some way to prepare it where it has like good stuff. Yeah, there you go. I love blood sausage. Yeah.
I think.
And what is it called in Spanish? It's called morto or something. I forget. Anyways, but like chorizo morto.
A blood sausage is a sausage filled with blood that is cooked or dried and mixed with a filler until it is thick enough to solidify when cooled. Most commonly, the blood of pigs, sheep, lamb, cow, chicken, or goose is used. I don't think I've had blood sausage, but honestly, maybe I have. I don't know.
It actually sounds kind of gross.
Listen, I pride myself on saying I'll try anything once. So
Yeah. Oh, look, I was going around countries where I didn't really know what I was eating, so who knows? Like,
maybe you did.
Hmm. That Bear
I'm
Week
trying to
just
think
ended.
what else. Does anyone else have any other theories about the mystery box chip?
Well, I was thinking that like I still keep going back to the whole thing of like that it looks very much like the whale
Mm-hmm.
kind of from certain angles, and then the probe. I know it's the fourth season, so they're like doing an homage to Star Trek 4, but the probe just
Right.
it seems like it's there for a reason. So
Yeah.
I have to say I'm like completely
Well,
unable
it's
to come
funny
up with a
is
reasonable theory. It's a really good
th-
mystery this
the
season.
three people I was most like in suspect of were in this episode, so I feel
Right,
like
exactly. Which
Oh,
I
it would
love
have.
really?
that they, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I was going on that theory is I think I was putting
Hmm.
all my coins in
So I
that
thought it
theory.
was
Yeah.
like it was gonna be the evil robot trio. Um,
Interesting. I had not thought of that.
but I'm going to assume no because I feel like it would have come up in this episode. Badgie would have mentioned it while ascending. Um, oh, who else is suspicious of Goodgie just hanging out on the Cerritos?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, not a good idea. Rutherford, bad idea.
That
Also, why
was
is
such
Rutherford
a
struggling with a grappler so much?
You know, it's
I
hard
hope
to
that
grapple
that's
with a
that's something
grappler.
I hope comes to back. I hope that
Yeah.
comes back around in like the last couple
Oh,
episodes.
I thought the grappler was gonna take Badgie out. Like at one point I was just like, yeah, grappler.
Oh, that could have been a fun way to take him out,
See,
but
I
I'm glad he
When
can't
in
intended.
doubt,
agree.
grapple it out.
I can't agree with this, but I just really like salmon Jill.
I
Salmon
love
is
salmon. I can't agree
salmon
with it
is
either. I love salmon
delicious.
when it's raw, when it's
Yeah,
cooked, when it's like a spread. Like I
yeah.
just love it.
I like salmon as a mousse.
Ooh, wow,
Salmon
salmon
Yeah.
mousse.
is
Ooh, wow.
Okay,
yes.
Salmon, for the record, salmon mousse is a thing. RC.
And by the
sure,
way, it's
yeah,
very
whatever you
Star.
say,
If you
pal.
guys think we're off topic, we actually aren't because salmon is very Star Trek because it's served on First Contact Day.
Mm,
What?
Aha, we brought it back around.
mm.
Yeah, the 100.
Lox is also. At some point, I'm sure RC. I have an entire story about Australia not knowing the word lox, and it.
Yeah,
RC knows this story. It's insane. Um.
By the way, that was a Lower Decks reference
Yeah.
because I think it was Ransom who said something about what was it? It was something like cutting up the Cerritos like a First Contact Day salmon or something like that. So
Oh.
assuming that like on First Contact Day, like how we eat turkey or whatever, the
Yeah.
majority of folks eat turkey on Thanksgiving, that salmon is the dish.
I gotta stop being
Um.
on shows that talk about food.
Sorry.
Dude, what do you have the munchies now?
Yes.
I'm
Oh
so
man.
hungry now.
So sorry.
It's okay. It's
The
okay.
problem is that now I want salmon. Like what? Like what a weird fucking craving to have.
Oh my gosh, is the grocery store closed? Can you order it from somewhere?
I
You
guess
have
I
it?
could run to HEB, but I'd probably need to like cook it. So that's
If
also
you
I'm
run to
like
HEB, you should live stream because I'm curious about HEB. Everyone talks about how wonderful it is.
one
It's
day
like-
come
Is
visit us. I
HEB
will.
like the Publix of Texas?
Yes.
but is Publix
I
really great? Because is it?
Publix is okay. People in
I
Florida
Okay,
really
yeah, I was
love
gonna
it.
say like it's
I
not that great. Here,
we
it's Fresh Market is the one I like,
I'm a Trader Joe's kind of guy.
or Trader Joe's. Yeah.
none of the Trader Joe's are there are two Trader Joe's in Austin. Neither of them are close enough to be my regular grocery store.
That's fair.
Especially with frozen food. And one's downtown, so you have to pay for parking.
Ugh,
Ah.
gross.
Yeah. They do validate though at Trader Joe's, so you can get a little off.
Oh, I like it when my stores validate me.
um,
You made a good purchase today.
I actually what I do is it's really close to the downtown public library, and their parking lot's always full. So I park there, and then when I go to the library, and then I'll get something at Trader Joe's on the way back, and so I can validate the parking. That's your tip if you live in Austin. Just park at the Trader Joe's parking lot.
I say, you don't live in downtown Austin, but you like Star Trek. What do we have for them?
What else is good? I'm sorry, I'm still not over the fact that Braxton didn't watch the episode.
I'm trying to think, did Tendi really do anything else in the episode besides the sandcastle moment? I feel like she didn't really get to do anything.
Yeah, she
you
was
know
kind of
what?
like
I thought she was being dumb, but you know what? She didn't. She wasn't being dumb. Peanut Hamper was being genuine with her speech. So
yeah, I think she was just being chill. She trusted her friend.
Yeah, friend's a stretch. Like, I would say yeah. So what Talid wasn't in this episode, and I think Joel pointed out that Talid and Logic never met, which is sad. I think
Talin?
As
Why
much as
isn't she there?
would miss Talin, I don't know where Talin would have fit in this episode. There was so much in this episode.
She didn't need that much chaos. Talin deserves better.
I will say this is a very good good question that is probably more for Valerie. I don't know is the answer. I kind of assume they'll probably not do all 20 at once, though, because Netflix often does the half season thing.
Yeah, also Netflix. Yeah,
I can't think of the last show I watched on Netflix.
I feel like Netflix has been moving away from the dropping it all at once. Like, there's an even mix now, right? Or are they still dropping the whole season at once?
I don't know. The only shows I know of them doing like week by week are when they have the international rights to a different TV show.
Oh, I see.
So like,
well, I do hope.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
So Peanut Hamper is on parole. Peanut Hamper very legally left jail.
Yeah.
Peanut Hamper
she asked for leniency and she got it.
Yeah.
The system works, as Tendi put it, or was that Boimler?
I think it was Tendi, right? No.
Yes,
I don't
Agnes
remember
was
now.
back. So Peanut Hamper got parole and then was like scheming with Agnes, except turned out not really. And then Agnes broke out, and then they brought Agnes back. But Peanut Hamper really did go on parole, so like she's just out.
Also, that's Peanut Hamper's family that we met.
Yeah. I found it interesting. Everyone else beeps, and she's like, "I've got a little voice box, I guess."
Yeah, I was very curious about that. Because I was trying to think, because the ones in the episode that they appeared in TNG didn't speak, right? They beeped.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Why does Peanut Hamper speak?
So did Peanut Hamper have a strong resemblance to her mother and father?
They looked exactly
I think we only saw her
Liz
dad.
Taylor.
Yeah, they looked. It looked like it did not like.
I bet they can all like build a component because they're so good at that allows them to, like maybe speak whatever language or maybe it's already an ability, but maybe
the rest of them are just as rude as Peanut Hamper, and we just don't know.
Exactly. That's a good one. That's really funny. I like that better.
Very
than the
good. I want to know. Okay, I'm just gonna pop up this one. Were there Marvel Netflix shows week to week? I feel like I remember binging those.
I remember binging them.
Yeah.
At least Daredevil specifically.
Daredevil, I feel like I remember also binging Jessica Jones. So I don't... Yeah. Unless we're thinking of a different Marvel Netflix show.
Jessica Jones was good.
Jessica Jones was really good.
So was Luke Cage.
Mm-hmm. No one's saying anything about Iron Fist. So,
dude, you know what? People talk trash about Iron Fist, but I thought Iron Fist was really good. I enjoyed it.
I've never seen it. I gotta watch Iron Fist.
You know how you
said I like the concept. I was disappointed by the show.
Colleen Wing was my girl. I love.
You know how
you're right. Good point. I was disappointed by the writing they gave for Danny.
You know how you said you know how you said, like, rich girls weren't your thing? Rich whiny boys are not my thing. I'm like, oh, no, it's Oliver Queen's backstory, but whinier?
But with magic.
With magic.
Jill, I thought I was binging the OA, but I don't know. Now I don't know. Because you know what's confusing to me is that sometimes I would get into a show, but they already had season 1 out, and so I don't remember. But
yeah,
but I think that the week to week model, although frustrating when a show's really good, is a better model because I think especially like when you binge something, like you're inevitably gonna get tired or just like miss a lot, you know?
Oh
And I
yeah.
don't know if people go back and
I
rewatch shows
also,
often, you know, like
and I don't. I will say this about Prodigy, as Prodigy is a show I love that is very like much talked about in Star Trek, but less, I think. Um, I think that the week to week works better if you want that show to be something people talk about
Yeah, I get
because
that.
as someone pointed out, Stranger Things is definitely a binge. I think Stranger Things would be even more popular if it was week to week because people would actually be talking about it more instead of just like the one weekend. And Stranger
I'd be
Things
curious.
is binge model, except this last season they did like 5 episodes and then 2 later,
I like that. That's kind of a
which is like
good thing, yeah.
I don't I don't mind that as a
Or like
I'd
I
be curious
noticed
to
with
see.
exactly this kind of thing happens with binging shows.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what
I
I was gonna
all
kind of reference. I'm curious to see like if someone would do a study on like the stickiness of a series
yeah.
based on like its release model.
Well, it certainly with Star Trek, I feel like when I binge a show, it doesn't live with me as long. I mean,
Uh-huh.
I love Star Trek in an unusually strong way, so it's a little different. But
Yes.
but like the Star Wars shows, I like that they do like maybe 2 episodes at the
Mm,
beginning or three.
yeah.
Sometimes they've dropped
And I
like three
don't
episodes. You know.
mind the idea that for new shows they're like we're going to put 3 episodes out to kind of like get people in.
Right.
And then I do know that Fothery talked to one of the Hagrid brothers, and he said he thought one of the problems with Prodigy is that the kids binge stuff now. They don't do
Ah.
week to week, because they've never had to. And
Oh, interesting.
I think putting it out in a way that's better for the viewing habits of current children is probably the better idea.
Well, we can force ourselves to watch it week to week.
We could. I won't do that. If it's out, I'm gonna watch all of it, but I'll watch it again week to week with you. I have
Awesome.
ADHD. I don't have self control over stuff like that. This is
If Rachel had self control, life would be very different.
yeah.
But you know, Star Trek Prodigy and Lower Decks binges are they to use a younger person's vernacular, they hit different because
Yeah.
they're only 30 minutes.
Yes.
So
Well,
you can
that's
binge them in a shorter amount of time
okay.
than you
Talk about like
could.
30 minutes. I accidentally watched the first 2 seasons of Dairy Girls in one day because they're like really short British seasons and they're only half hour, so each season is like 4 hours.
Yeah, it's nice when there's like a snackable show like that.
Hmm.
Yeah, like Jill brought up a really good point. Like for me, Deep Space Nine, I bought them all on DVD like
Yeah.
one day, like because I'd never finished it. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna finish
Oh,
DS9, and so I binged them like over the course of a month,
Mm-hmm.
like all 7 seasons. And when I hear people talking about Deep Space Nine, I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't do it. I loved the show,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't do it service because when you watch things more, you know, with
Yeah.
more like kind of intention, you will remember the thing. And week to week is why that happens because you're like, oh my gosh, I'm thinking about this the whole week. So
Um.
yeah.
not to like this is not
Mm-hmm.
directly connected to Lower Decks, but it feels tangentially connected enough.
Mm-hmm.
Best Buy announced that they are getting out of physical media
I
I
know.
hate
sometime
that.
next year.
I hate
I
that
hate
so
Oh
that.
much. I'm so
Also,
stoked that
wow.
the
yeah.
only fun things you can buy at Best Buy.
Mm.
As I saw one thing, they're like, "Why? You're just a glorified appliance store."
Mm. So no games, like no movies. I don't buy
Yeah.
movies
Oh,
like
that's a good point. I don't know about games.
DVDs
I
anymore,
assumed I was just thinking
but
movies when they said that. But
I
that's a good
buy
point too.
Yeah.
games at Best Buy all the time.
Yeah. I don't.
So
Is it
Yeah.
better to buy a game on physical media? Because I've only been downloading games since I got my PS5. I've not
So
yet.
I like to give because I don't replay games. So I like to give my games to
Yeah.
my nephews and my brothers and
Ah.
friends.
Makes sense.
Oh, that's
So
yeah. I like that.
if I download it, then like
I would say
it's stuck on my
most.
machine. But like if I wanted
Right.
to like sell it to GameStop for $15,
Yeah.
I could.
That's a
Most of the
really
stuff
good
I
point.
do end up downloading are games that have like something like Animal Crossing or Disney Dreamlight Valley, which are like they don't really end. They just kind of keep getting updates and keep going.
Yeah.
Someone
So
out
just I
there who's who's entrepreneurial and has the money, maybe now's the time to reopen those old school record stores that had like records and CDs and like,
That'd
you
be
know, like
cool.
Yeah, because it's not like
no,
there's no other stores besides Best Buy, but like it's Best Buy. I would consider a
I
major
it was the
retailer.
It's a
biggest
major
like that's where I
retailer,
went to get
and
stuff,
what
yeah.
like I live in Austin. I live in a fairly big city that has a bunch of hipsters. So I do have like I could go to Waterloo Records and I could get music there. But
Yeah,
I
I'm in
bet for
Boston.
a
There's tons
lot
of
of
record stores here.
people, I'm sure Best Buy also sold music, right? Like physical music.
Yeah,
I'm sure for a lot of people in smaller towns, Best Buy was their only option.
yeah.
You
For
can
a lot
get
of
That's going to
those
be
stuff
people.
at
interesting.
Target probably still, and then
Target,
Walmart I think has it. It's
Walmart,
like I don't really
but
like to go to
all of those are major retailers.
We're
Walmart.
going to see
And
GameStop stock pop back up again.
it's like one of those things. It's like this is like why people keep going to Amazon. It's because all these stores stop selling them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just thought it feels tangentially related because with some of the stuff that happened, like with Prodigy, it's started making me think more about getting more physical media again.
Mm-hmm.
Like even if I am just going to rip it to a hard drive, but like being able to like
Yeah.
own it.
I went crazy and bought all the current Star Treks that I didn't already have on physical media when
Oh,
they
wow.
I need to figure out what I
yeah.
have on because a lot of it I've like bought from like a half price books.
Yeah.
Like I have.
I
That's
was
how
gonna
I have a
say,
steel book of the first season of Picard.
positive note, it probably means that they'll be doing a lot of clearance sales next year when they go to stop having the floor space for it.
Ooh.
So start making your list now.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it'll be like buy two get one or something. Buy two get
Yeah,
two.
that's actually Brian. That's right. That's why it's like I will still try and go into like Barnes and Noble because I want that fucking bookstore to survive.
Yeah, you have to support the
Yeah.
things that you like.
All
You know,
right.
one
Yeah.
of the reasons why I, shop at physical stores, like
Mm.
because I'm lucky that I have a car and I can go where I want.
Yeah.
And like I want
I
stores
mean,
like Best Buy and GameStop
and I'll be
to
honest,
exist. So like I buy all
I don't like
electronics from them.
not shop at Amazon at all. I do have a couple things. One, I have a Kindle, so like that's hard.
Oh,
Also, yeah, apparently Amazon Prime is gonna have ad breaks now, so that's
You
They're
say
gonna have
Amazon
what?
Prime is gonna have what?
apparently I saw that. Apparently Amazon Prime is going to have ad breaks now, and I'm like,
Oh,
Wait,
really?
like
Oh.
we're getting back to cable again.
yep.
you'll have to pay more to not
I
see
think more
commercials?
to
Oh
not
my
see
gosh.
commercials.
Isn't it like $2 more to not have commercials?
I do not know.
Uh-huh.
It's just the
I don't pay for
principle.
I don't pay for Amazon
But you
Prime.
know,
I
at
steal
the
my
same
brother's.
I
at the
thought
same
it was
time,
like
actually,
$2
I
as
take
well.
that back in the case of Amazon because they have always included their streaming service with Amazon Prime. So
Yeah.
if it
At
is only
least
$2 to get a non-commercial version,
I
I
will
can
say
kind
at
of
least Amazon Prime comes with this other service.
Hmm.
Like
yeah.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna say I don't
you
have
get
Amazon
commercial
Prime, but
breaks.
my friends and I all share someone's account, and they said they're not going to be renewing it, and I was kind of like, okay, that's fine, I'll survive.
yeah.
Mhm.
It's nice
I'll
to
be
have it, but I don't, I don't feel like I went for a couple of years without it, so I wasn't like
yeah.
broken up
Did you
about it.
not watching Wheel of Time?
No, but now that I know
I
that the subscription is going to be ending, I've been thinking about like, oh man, I really want to watch The Expanse and stuff.
Yeah.
So
these definitely watch the Is it on Amazon? I thought it was on Oh
yeah,
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 they saved it. That's right. I forgot
Mhm.
about that. That's
The
right.
Wheel of
yeah.
Time
So
is
I've
good
been
too. You'll enjoy that.
okay. I'll
What's
check it
that?
out.
Wheel of Time?
Yeah, Marvelous Mrs.
I
Maisel
finished
ended.
it.
Maybe I don't, I don't need to borrow anyone's Amazon Prime anymore. Um, what else? I also wonder that I paid more for Paramount Plus without ads, and it's still get an ad at the beginning. Yeah, RC. This is RC uses my Paramount Plus account, so that's. But it's funny. I downgrade because had been on a family's Netflix account, and then my family was like, "Well, this is dumb, so we can't share it anymore." So I got my own, but I got the ads version of it,
Mm.
and so I'm like, "So I'm gonna have ads for Chess Prodigy for Star Trek."
I think it's also worth talking about too. Is so many of them are introducing ads. Wait, no, I had somewhere I was going with that, and I lost my train real quick there.
I'm imagining for
Password
Prodigy.
sharing.
Oh
That was my
yeah,
thought.
I
I was like, I
don't.
wonder if Paramount will start
Um,
doing that because it worked out real well for Netflix. They gained like so many freaking subscribers that that's probably what pushed Disney to be like, oh, this will work.
I honestly, I think Netflix is not realizing that they lost money because people downgraded what types of accounts they had. And if they actually did the
I mean,
math on it,
I
I think
was
they're being dumb.
I'd have to check when I
Yeah.
last looked. They were like in the extreme
Yeah.
positives.
Um, but it's also a weird draconian idea of what a family is and punishes people for not having a nuclear family. And it
Yeah,
also punishes people for being like having a deployed spouse or like a child that like lives in
is
more
in
than one
college or something,
home.
or
Yeah, or is in college and like it is like literally the most like one of the most inhumane thing I've ever seen a streaming service do.
I'm gonna cancel my Netflix tonight, Rachel.
I didn't say to cancel it. Watch Prodigy.
yeah, I was gonna say,
um,
I do
it
want to watch
like
Yeah,
Stop Part
yeah.
Two.
Um,
if I weren't
but
already on
what
Netflix,
I
I would
found
subscribe to it for
interesting
Prodigy.
is when I did have ads. When I watched Prodigy on Paramount Plus, I would just get the ridiculous Nickelodeon ads or like ads for like insane toys, and I assume that's what's gonna happen on Netflix.
maybe.
Um,
Oh, Jill, how'd you squeeze that out of them? Were you just did you just call and threaten to cancel? I'm down to do
yeah.
like
I
that's
had
cool.
to create my own because it like wasn't my Netflix account. I just took my profile.
Oh, I just
Hmm.
realized the time. I got to jet, guys. But this was super
But
fun.
yeah, it was fun.
Thank you for having
Good
me
to see
on.
you.
Thanks.
See you,
Uh,
Sohail.
yeah. Um, but honestly, I need them to not be dumb, and also like I don't think they realize that like their product is going to be worth so much less if only one person can use it at a time.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, they're basically just the whole assumption, right, is that there's just money out there that they're
yeah.
not getting that they could otherwise get, and
I don't think
some
they
of these
realize
services are going to find out that there's that money does not exist. There are a lot of
that
people who
we
just will
don't
not
have
pay.
that money. We're broke.
Yeah, but they don't want your money. They want people with money.
I think what annoyed me the most, Jill, about my family's Netflix account is we paid for like the premium version to have 4 screens, and all of a sudden there was a limit on where those screens could be, which I think is bullshit.
Yeah.
Um, that
Like,
I'm
hey, let
like,
me use my 4 screens however I want.
yeah, like we did. They said like, hey, if you want to be able to watch four of them at the same time, you can have to pay more. And we're like, okay, that's fair. Okay, now actually you can't use them across your family members, even though you do pay for like that.
Yeah.
So they lied. Is the um yeah, like I don't know. I was like, we already were paying for a premium version of Netflix, and now instead of that premium version of Netflix, they're getting me paying for the cheapest version of Netflix. So I don't. I think that I don't trust that they're actually making more money. Yeah, that is pretty dystopian. Yeah. Um. But yeah, I find it really weird.
Yeah, like I said, it had it on my mind about whether or
Yeah.
not Paramount Plus will try the same thing at some point, or like how much work does it take to enforce that versus the
Hmm.
revenue taken in as well is also a
I
factor, I'm sure.
also.
Like for giant companies like Netflix or Disney, I can see
Yeah.
probably it's not they probably see the benefit, but I'm wondering because Paramount I don't think is like first tier necessarily.
No, it's only first tier to us nerds who really want to watch Star Trek. I'm like, yeah, it'll be really interesting to see what happens with all the streaming services.
Yeah, but how many episodes of Lower Decks do we have left?
I think this is 7. I think 3.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm sorry, Braxton. It's not a season finale.
But that means there's a season finale coming.
Eventually.
Let's see. I
Eventually.
want to know what happens with this little ship.
Yeah. So I would just say I would really recommend watching the episode, Braxton. I think it was really good.
I'd like you to watch it. And I also want to know what you think about our description of it compared to what you actually see.
Yeah.
It's going to be really interesting to watch.
I
it,
also
now.
want you to think about our confusion at the beginning of the episode, at the beginning of this. Yes, Jill, that is a good idea. Tell what that in the chat tomorrow.
I will.
Although I'll try to be in the chat tomorrow. I am seeing the Taylor Swift concert movie.
Oh wow, that's exciting.
Although I at a later screening because
2 hours and 48 minutes.
Really?
Well, they actually
That's
they cut songs out apparently.
I saw a thing that
Yeah.
said that it was 2 hours and 48 minutes. Specifically, it was a post that said Swifties can never complain about how long a movie is ever again.
The Batman is definitely longer than that.
Listen, I'm not the one who posted it. I'm just telling you where I saw it.
Right? Because I remember looking this up because
I'm looking it up.
when Wicked
I
was
really like
announced,
that movie was.
it's almost 3
I'm not good
hours.
at math. Minus. It was 2 hours and 56 minutes, so just slightly longer.
Yeah. Because I remember looking the time of that up when Wicked was announced that they were going to split it into 2 movies, and I pointed out that Wicked, intermission included, the 15-minute intermission included, it was 11 minutes shorter than the Batman.
Batman was a long movie. I remember being in I loved that movie so much, but I remember being in the theater being like, is this almost over? And then it wasn't. And then there was a whole other act. And it was all good, and I was enjoying it, but at the same time, I was like, I've been here for a while.
I was sitting in this recliner being like, I like the movie, but I've been in this recliner too long. I'm gonna fall asleep.
Well, yeah, because I was in a theater that had recliners and stuff too, like a nice place, and I'm just like, I was like, I'm really interested, but like,
I will say, Jill, what type of music is your vibe? Because I would say she has done a couple different genres.
I found a pop punk guy who's been covering Taylor Swift songs. I've been really enjoying his stuff.
Yeah. I would say my favorite Taylor Swift song is a song called "This Is Me Trying." Although if you listen to that, I don't have a drinking problem. It's fine. I relate to it for other reasons.
I think "You Belong with Me."
"You Belong with Me" is really cute. It's an early song.
Taylor Swift song.
Back to December is probably like my favorite.
Yeah. I really like the song "Champagne Problems," which is from Evermore and more like lyrically stuff. I also really like "Shake It Off" for very different reasons. Like I like "Shake It Off." I was like, I want to have a good time.
You know, I find that I don't like Taylor Swift's music, but I like her.
That's
know?
fine.
Okay.
Her
Like,
music's
I
not for
like
everyone.
Taylor Swift,
Yeah.
but I don't really like her music.
That's fine.
I'm not saying her music's for everyone. I enjoy her music, obviously. Shocking, right? Hey, the person I don't have any Taylor Swift tattoos. The person we were hanging out with in New York did.
People have Taylor Swift tattoos?
Is that shocking?
Listen, I can't judge. I have a My Chemical Romance tattoo,
Yeah.
so
People have tattoos for everything.
That is shocking.
That I don't know.
People have Taylor Swift tattoos or my tattoos.
That people have Taylor Swift tattoos.
Oh, okay.
It was not, for the record. It was not a tattoo of Taylor Swift. It was a tattoo dealing with involving one of Taylor Swift's songs.
Yeah, like mine's not of the band My Chemical Romance. Mine is like their logo.
This is a very good question about Artemis. He's really good at taking over. He's just not really good at keeping control. I think those are 2 different skills.
I'll say, revolution and governance are 2 different things.
Yeah. Perhaps that's what Peanut Hamper's skill set would have been if she had stuck to the plan. Hell, she. This is also maybe Starfleet's just that good. Peanut Hamper really, took over those bird people for a long time.
forgot about that.
Yeah, this
This
is
show is so weird.
this show is so weird.
I would say
Um,
our Agamus is going to need a Wei Yun. That's what he needs to properly govern with.
yeah. They're just always having to deprogram these people getting taken over. Tell them about the Constitution. Tell them about not to listen to the evil robots so many times that they would just remember that. It would be very convenient for them.
Oh, was it a new writer? I didn't know that. And they did a very
I don't
great
think
job.
I realized someone was saying something they had worked on earlier in the chat. I did not realize they were new. But yeah, this was a great episode. Also, it's that the new writer was able to reference so much of Lower Decks.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like they were very clearly knowledgeable in the content, and
Yeah.
and frankly just wrote something really good too, right?
Yeah, it was really good. Blackish and Dear White People. Oh yeah. I've seen Blackish. I've not seen any of Dear White People, although I've heard it's really good.
I'll say I've seen a little of Dear White People. I think I've seen an episode of Blackish.
Yeah. Get more chicken soup. I've eaten so much chicken soup. I like chicken soup a lot, and I would like to eat something that is not chicken soup.
Perhaps you need chicken soup for the soul.
Yeah. I did get some kind of Fiesta chicken soup from HEB, so I'm gonna maybe eat that a little later, and maybe that will liven it up a little as I'm just trying to. Yeah, the Taylor Swift tickets for tomorrow are non-refundable, so I need to stop sneezing, or maybe just wear a mask.
Wear a
Both.
mask. Yeah.
Yes.
Both.
Also, side note, just because I mentioned Chicken Soup for the Soul, they bought Redbox. The company that makes those books bought Redbox. The world is weird.
What? Why?
Do I look like I was in the room? I'm bringing you information. That's all I got for you.
Those books are still being made?
The company exists. That's a good point. I don't know if they're still making the books.
This is the information when I realized America's Funniest Home Videos was somehow not taken out by YouTube.
Yeah. I found out today my manager's third cousins with the Kardashians. It's been a weird day.
Excuse me?
That's what I got.
Which side?
I don't know.
Oh my god!
I have so many questions. I have so many questions, but I'm not a Kardashian person. But I know all the information I know about the Kardashians against my will.
Yeah, that's essentially where I'm at. But
yeah,
I'm just here to drop information with no context and let everyone listening absorb that how they will.
This is okay. That's wild information, RC.
I blew their minds when I in turn told them that the Way brothers from My Chemical Romance are cousins with Joe Rogan, and Ben Shapiro is cousins with Matilda.
Oh yeah, that is true. Did you know we have a mutual friend who's related by marriage to Trump's old lawyer?
What?
Oh gosh. God.
So there's just
I
again.
am good at
I feel like we've gone so far off the rails.
We
I'm
have.
So sorry.
I will see you guys next week.
Yeah, I'll see you. Probably a good time to end this. This is going insane. Braxton, watch the episode.
Yeah.
Everyone else, go rewatch it.
Kardashian
bye.
occupation.
Bye.